Ladies and gentlemen, I'm better currently. You might all yourself be asking this question. Why did Sifuna out of the blues decide to declare that ODM will continue backing the broad-based government that William Ruto and Raila Odinga signed into this year until 2027? Yesterday, a meeting was held at Chungwa House, and a press later was made by Edwin Sifuna as the Secretary General of the ODM party. Besides him stood the party leader Oburu Odinga, and on the left side stood none other than the minority leader in parliament, Junet Mohammed. These people all have in the past been against Sifuna's sentiments on matters of how ODM is currently associating with the government of William Ruto. Here is what has been revealed to us. Before the meeting that was held yesterday at Chungwa House, where Oburu Odinga took over the office of the late Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Oburu Odinga and the Odinga family at large, including Mama Ida Odinga, held a meeting in Bondo before traveling to Nairobi, where he was supposed now to visit Raila's office. In that meeting, Mama Ida Odinga made one thing clear to Oburu Odinga. If there is one thing that Baba Raila Odinga respected, is the decisions that everybody makes within the party. Everybody is entitled to their own personal opinion. And that should not mean that now I should start fighting this person because he is against what I am doing or what the other person is doing. What Mama Ida Odinga clearly told Oburu Odinga. Raila Odinga loved Edwin Sifuna and supported Edwin Sifuna, and he was ready, by the way, to leave the leadership of ODM under Edwin Sifuna, because among all the leaders within the ODM party, leaving all the old people out of the picture like Akina Oburu Odinga, James Orengo, and Akina Nyang' Nyong'o, the young person that had the capability and the capacity to run the party is none other than Edwin Sifuna. So though people had been plotting, a coup had been plotted, and that coup was spearheaded by none other than the Homa Bay governor, Gladys Wanga, and the current cabinet secretary of treasury in Kenya, John Mbadi. They had planned on a way to ouster Edwin Sifuna from the party. But the intervention of Mama Odinga assured them that the party was left under Edwin Sifuna, not because Raila Odinga was a fool for protecting Sifuna all along. It's because Raila Odinga trusted in the decision making of Edwin Sifuna. And that is why he never adhered to the calls that were made to him to expel Edwin Sifuna as the ODM party secretary general. Even Oburu Odinga himself was in support of the motion of kicking Edwin Sifuna out of the party. But Mama Ida Odinga stood firm on the ground and declared that you will not tarnish the legacy of one Raila Odinga by kicking out a son that he has reared, and he instilled himself and installed himself at the top ranked position of the party as its spokesperson and its secretary general. If you want to tarnish the Raila's legacy, go ahead and kick Sifuna out of the party. And be warned, you who have plotted against Sifuna in the past. Deals had been made, by the way, even when Raila Odinga was alive. Meetings were being held in Karen with people funding ODM youth wing to go ahead and table a motion of impeaching Sifuna as the party secretary general. But Raila Odinga caught wind of these meetings and went ahead to tell the youth that nobody should tell them what to do on matters Sifuna, because if they are going to disobey Sifuna, they are then disobeying the will of Baba Raila Odinga. Because Baba trusted the party with Sifuna. So who are you not to trust the party with Sifuna? And that is why one thing that was made clear yesterday in an interview with Oga Obina on Obina TV by one the Sabaot MP Caleb Amisi is that Baba loved Edwin Sifuna. And whoever as a bone to chew with Sifuna on his way of leadership is having a bone to chew with Raila Odinga. In the past, I have compared the story of Sifuna to that of David in the Bible. I told you once God told Prophet Nathan that David is a servant after my own heart, and that is why I'm going to bless him and his generations to come. Sifuna was a man after Raila's heart, and he was a man after Raila's legacy. And that is why Raila Odinga was ready to defend Sifuna even if it costed him his relationship with William Ruto's government. Ida Odinga knew if Sifuna is out of the picture, the ODM party will not stand for so long. And that is why she warned and told Oburu Odinga, it's high time you realize that Raila Odinga wasn't a fool when he trusted this young man to continue making rants on social media and to continue speaking his mind against the broad-based government when he, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, was alive. It's because he's trusted in the way of thinking of this young man. And whoever opposes Edwin Sifuna opposes Raila Odinga right now. And that is why those cowards that have been opposing Edwin Sifuna, yesterday you saw them all cowed out, standing beside Edwin Sifuna as he read the statement. Edwin Sifuna said, yes, the ODM party will continue working with the UDA, with the Kenya Kwanza administration. But until, and that is until 2027, since the deal between Raila and William Ruto was up to 2027, but not beyond 2027. They won't breach the contract Raila signed. It will last long till 2027. But beyond that, they have the mandate to decide on which way the party should go. Should the party join the united opposition or should the party continue working with William Ruto? But one thing, these people had it figured out on how to throw Edwin Sifuna out of the picture. But Mama Ida Odinga called a meeting, and in that meeting, he shut down the alleged coup that was, remember, I told you about 1 week ago, after the burial of Right Honorable Raila Odinga, on Tuesday last week, Gladys wanga, the Homa Bay governor, and some few individuals, including the son to Oburu Odinga, Jaoko Oburu, who is the president advisor, met at the home of one Jared Okello in Siaya. The discussion that was happening in that meeting was on how they will plot the removal of Edwin Sifuna from the party, because Sifuna was denying them the chance of continuing to enjoy the fruits of the broad-based administration. Are we together? And they settled on one Jared Okello to come and take over as the party secretary general once they are done with impeaching and removing Sifuna as the party secretary general. And that is a meeting that the Odinga family did not know about. And that is when Mama Ida learned of this. She called Oburu and some few other individuals and told them, for the party to go forward and to remain strong in respecting the legacy of Raila Odinga, Sifuna must remain in the party. But Sifuna also is not a fool. You know that a contract was signed, and the contract was meant to bind William Ruto and Raila Odinga's ODM party until 2027 to implement the 10-point agenda. Are we together? So Sifuna should support this, but he is also entitled to making his own opinion, to making his own declaration. You cannot tie him to the two-term narratives. No, he is an independent mind. And if Sifuna speaks, ODM speaks. That is one thing you should learn. Yes, let's see what William Ruto will do in 2025 and 2026. But in 2027, the party now, the time for that party, the time for that contract that was signed between Raila Odinga and William Ruto will have expired, and Sifuna and the party is allowed to make a way forward in respect of Raila Amolo Odinga's legacy. Don't crumble the party. Don't destroy the party just even less than 2 weeks after Raila's death, because you will have stepped on Raila's Amolo Odinga's legacy. You will have destroyed the legacy Raila Amolo Odinga built for the ODM party for the past 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it is getting hot. But now, people like Gladys Wanga and John Badi are currently sitting on the sidelines watching as Edwin Sifuna take control of the ODM party. Oh my, I love this show. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more news and more trading stories. This is the Kenyan Daily Report.